Kids was saying that your soul grows older. So maybe at that time you were going through a phase where you were growing. Maybe that's what happened. You grow. Like, I believe that we are constantly cocooning. I believe that we are constantly cocooning and we're constantly being reborn. Every so often we go into a cocoon and we come out a new butterfly with new colors. And that could have possibly contributed to the breaking loose of the ties. It's like, okay, I'm a new woman now, which in that chapter is, okay, I'm a new woman now. You know, what used to cut it doesn't cut it anymore. But they had an effect on you that made you who you are and mold your perception. How you, I'm sorry, this thing is coming up and it's like, I'm trying to get it. Molds your perception. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm trying to press the see more thing, and then every time I press it, the thing, it goes back up. I don't know. Let me see. How you moved after them may not be who you be without meeting them. Live and grow and learn. I'm sorry. Every time I press the see more button, it would go back up. I don't know. Yes, that's true. So you thank God for these soul ties, because I feel like I learned a lot. I learned a lot in my situation. I learned a lot. I'm in that cocoon. I blossomed so much after it, like a whole woman. Like what's the topic for tonight? Soulmates and soul ties. Then I realized he was a dirty bum. He was a dirty bum. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, I feel like you cocoon. Soul ties must have an age, because a young person, as a young person, this can be very dangerous. Yes, that's true. Because especially when you're young, your hormones are just like all over the place. These soul ties, these connections can cause you to do things that you ain't got no business doing. And this is another question. The remnants of soul ties, not just the spiritual remnants of soul ties that every so often or every other day you think about them. Not just that, but the fact that there are things that you did when you were there that you cannot forget. There are things that you did that you can't go undo, that you can't redo, because it's done, and it plagues you. It does. So as a young person, it can be dangerous. I mean, even as an adult, I mean, at any age it's dangerous, but as a young person for sure, because you're not even like. So we gotta talk to our children about. I mean, we say it's not only sex, but at that age, sex, and then their close friendships too. Like, their close friendships. I'm very careful about who my girls are friends with. Like, okay, who are you calling your friend? Like, who is she? What is she like? You know what I mean? Because you are tied to those friends. You have two soul ties. Miss Silly, you got a lot going on, okay? And you need to get it together, because we don't need soul ties. We need soulmates. That's what we're trying to get, soulmates. None of these soul ties. How do we cut these soul ties? We realize that we are better, we are greater, and when we feel it pulling us, we pray about it. Soulmates. Flip to the other side. Soulmates. Oh snap, it's 9:53 already? That's crazy. I'm gonna come back on, because I'm gonna come back on because I don't have time. Soulmate. Souls going in the same direction. Someone said that last week. Someone said that you and your soulmate are going in the same direction. My other soul tie called my soul tie. Don't answer it. Get some effort in your system. Yeah, you get tired. You get tired. How do you know when you found your soulmate? One of our sisters want to know, how do you know when you found your soulmate? My soul tie is fed up. He say, don't tie him no more. But nah, seriously though, I like that song. But seriously though, I'm afraid of missing my soulmate because I'm bitter and stubborn. I used to be nice though. Okay. How do you not miss your soulmate? I had that question down too. Soulmate. Someone said last week that your soulmate, you and your soulmate, are two souls going in the same direction. A soul that speaks to you and connects to you on another level. Now this is also in a soul tie, a soul that speaks to you on another level, because that soul, in order for you to even be tied to that soul, they speak to you and you're connected to them on another level. A soul that God made for you, your Adam or your Eve. That is what a soul, those are the definitions that I have down for soulmate. If you guys have anything, of course, throw it out there or whatever, what a soulmate is. Excuse me, someone said earlier that you don't choose your soulmate. God chooses your soulmate. And soul ties, you basically choose. Is there an immediate alert when you found your soulmate? Is there a bling that goes off? Now, with that, the only difference is the outcome. I think there are differences in it too. There are differences in it too, because you're not drowning. You're not drowning in that situation. Is there an immediate alert? I think someone said that some people are not tied to their soul themselves. They're not tapped in. You can't recognize it because you don't even know. I believe that you have to know who you are in order to know who your soulmate is, or in order to know that you found your soulmate. I feel like you have to know yourself, and I'll read that piece in a minute. I feel like you have to know yourself. I feel like is there an immediate alert? I think if you are on another level spiritually, I think you kind of know. If your discernment is dead on, if you find yourself being able to see things, I think you know. But I don't think you always know. I think some people are still searching, are still lost, and don't know themselves, and don't know what they want, what feels right versus what feels wrong to them. And so they won't recognize it right away. That's just how I feel. I'm gonna read the piece and then we'll go into the next question. It's called Queening. I'm gonna answer that question in a minute. I'm gonna read this piece. If we are all single, have any of us met our soulmates? Do they really exist? Okay, well, 1 second. Queening. When I met him, I was deep in a place of self-love. It was almost impossible for me to take my eyes off of myself and the things I wanted to accomplish. I picked my head up from my book of self-studies nearing the end of one chapter because I swore I heard my own voice. I wanted to know what faith it was that went with it. I heard my mind twisting questions and loaded responses. I heard my passion and my confidence. I heard my spirituality. Then at some point I realized I never saw his face. Listening to my voice, I thought about how when we met, I never actually looked at him for more than a few seconds. It wasn't until I heard myself that I had to see him. That's just how much I loved me. That's how hard I loved me. That's how much I liked myself. The root of settling is most of the time low self-esteem. We don't like or love ourselves enough to know for certain that we'll find someone worth our love. We look in the mirror and see little flaws that keeps us from seeing how great we actually are. We're subconsciously wrapped tightly in self-hate. We go about our day making everyone believe that we think we're on fleek 24/7, when really we're doing everything we can to cover up the parts of us that we don't like and hiding the parts of us that other people don't like, leaving us to unintentionally be everything but authentic. The real you is perfect. Change the flaws you can and love the hell out of the ones you can't. The real you will attract your person. Think about this. How will your soulmate recognize you if you're dressed up as someone else? The end. The king. This piece is important too. That piece was Queenie, and this piece is the king. You know that game where you're flipping over those cards and you flip them all so you know this has got to be the one? You utter those words not actually believing them, flipping them over to feel everything you knew existed. Imagine spending your entire life an outcast and one day finding a mirror. Looking deep inside of your own soul, you are not alone anymore. You talk because no one has ever been more worthy of your words. You share because as you put out, you're being replenished. You feel balanced. Like the world is no longer tilting and everything makes sense now. Here's what I've learned. If it brings chaos to your brain, it's not it. The real thing calms your spirit. It brings with it security and is scented with genuine compassion. We as humans aren't always receptive of it and try so hard to believe that they're all the same. We use these precautions thinking that they'll keep us safe. When the truth is, deep down inside, you eventually want your person. We push it away because of fear. We spend too much time in a hypothetical place because of our past. When dating, we try to make sure we're putting to use every lesson we've learned prior to the current situation. Luckily, the real thing waits. It waits because it's patient and understanding. Rejecting it, you think about looking back because though what you had wasn't half as good as this, it's familiar. Somehow, having become accustomed to misery, you find yourself considering looking for safety in hell. Hell is hot, but that's an obvious and known fact. Allowing fear to control you, you put yourself in reverse, contemplating not walking through that door. If you're smart, at some point you realize a lot of your romantic failures came from not listening to what you know and feel, but doubting yourself and your ability to sense things. The real thing is peaceful. It sings to you in your language. It's seductively inviting and still honest. It's dangerous, but comfortable. Feeling heaven sent, it gives you rest. You feel like you can sit and no longer have to run from love. Don't miss the keys. Except the Lord build a house. Feeling heaven sent because it literally is. It's the reality of having your prayers and then some manifest right before your eyes. It makes you feel unworthy. You cry out of guilt asking God what you've done so great to deserve these blessings. You find yourself begging for God's help. And trust God to work out the rest. I know that was pretty long. Oh snap, did I go out? I froze it. Here you go with the oh, that sucked because that last piece was really dope. You talk the same language. Right. Oh crap. So you guys didn't get any of that? Toy, I don't know who else is in here, but I'm going to go out and come back in because it's ending over on this side. So I'm going to go out and come back in. You guys didn't get any of that? What? What? All of that nice little sweet talks I was doing and nobody heard it? Maisha, did you hear me? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna read these comments. You speak the same language. You and your soulmate speak the same language. Hey. See, I was telling it last week that I had many soulmates, and they was like, oh, I only have one soul. But you're my soulmate, so that's my sister from another mister. You talk the same language. No, it's not. It's your soulmate. You would think she's beautiful anyway. Even in our grandparents' age, those who were together for decades went through crap and thought about giving up at time. So the soul may have brought, here we go with that crap. For some reason I can't read your comments. Like, it gives me like hell. Your soul may have brought them together, but the flesh and compromise and forgiveness kept them together. I don't know about the flesh keeping them together, but compromise and forgiveness for sure, because the flesh be trying to tear you apart, for sure. It froze, some of it. Oh man, that sucks. That freaking sucks, because that sucks. I feel really upset about it freezing because, oh well, I hope y'all got the gist of it. What are some reasons you would reject your soulmate? I mean, hypothetically, if we're saying that your soulmate exists, if we're saying that you do have a soulmate, someone that that God made for you, what are some reasons you would reject your soulmate? What is some rewind? They do that up there too. I thought that was only down here, like some weird, like when I'm on stage, it catches me off guard. Rewind. Wait a minute, I barely said it the first time. The first one was great. The second one, from what I heard, seemed to feed off of the first. The first one was about finding yourself. The second one was about finding your person. Hey there. The second one was about finding your person. I mean, I would rewind if I knew how far down you guys heard. I don't know how much you heard, and I don't want to put you guys through that all over again. But if you're gonna beg, nah. No, seriously, tell me how far down did you guys hear any of it? The only reason I could think of is because you feel it can't be true. It's too perfect. Something is wrong. What about it not seeming realistic, or the obstacles being too high? The whole phase may make you miss them. Oh, that's something. So can you miss your soulmate though? Like, can it? That's another question I have. Is it possible to miss your soulmate? And if so, do they come back around? Like, can you really miss your soulmate? Like, can that person just pass by you because you're not? And does that mean that they're not ready to? Like, how does that even work? Now, I do believe in soulmates. I do believe that there's somebody on this earth that is specifically for you. I do believe that. I don't, however, know all of the details on how it works. Hey, Lena, on how it works or whatever. But I do believe that you have a soulmate. I believe that there's someone out there that looks like you, that speaks your language, that soul is going in the same direction as yours, that you have a mission to do with, that I read a piece last week. If you're used to disappointment, if it's too good, it may be scary. Abandonment issues play a factor. Yeah, that could abandonment issues. Yeah, and Gotta work on that compromise and forgiveness thing. For sure, because you're definitely, if you're destined to be with this person forever, you're bound to go through something. You're bound to go through something, a couple of something. Gotta work on that compromise and forgiveness thing. I guess I just think if I'm the one for you, we don't need to compromise. I don't think we're never going to be perfect. We'll never be perfect people. So there'll always be something for us to improve. And sometimes that person comes to help us to improve it. And that would be that compromise. That person comes in and you, something is, I mean, the puzzle piece fits, but something is just a little like, hey, yeah, you got to work on that. You know what I mean? You got to compromise. You have to compromise. You have to be better. You have to come up. You're going to always have to come up. And I think your person challenges you to come up for sure. Like if no one challenges you to come up and be who you're supposed to be and be the best version of yourself, it's your person. For sure. I don't know if you can miss it, but if you do, it will come back around unless you die. Okay, so it does come back around. I mean, I hope so. But how people die without being with their soulmates? That's crazy. There are billions of people on this planet. I don't believe that there's only one person capable of being your soulmate. I mean, me personally, I've met a lot of people, and a lot of times I mean, we're good, but it's not a perfect fit. You don't believe that you have